Okay, we can start. So I'm gonna share my screen as well.
Okay. Um, Rafi King Pawn Endgame. Okay, I'm in the study.
Yeah, okay. So about the counting part, yeah, the first thing I'll just explain you. So it's actually pretty simple. So when you have, let's say, a pawn on b2, yeah, and
Yeah.
your opponent has a pawn on, like, for example, here in f7. So
Mm-hmm.
here you pretty much don't need to calculate who will queen faster, yeah, because you both are starting on the base rank. So whoever has the move will queen first. It's that simple because both of them are on the base ranks, right? So here you
Right.
don't need to waste actually time calculating b4, f5, b5, f4, b6, f3 because it will be the same thing. You will obviously end up in that one. I mean, you both will end up queening first.
Right.
So let's just say we got to this position, yeah. Now here's the first thing that I would say you need to focus, especially when you're playing a pawn race. So after both sides queen, there are few things like few rules you must remember. The first thing after queening is, so basically at this point, yeah, when you promoted the queen, this is the
Mm-hmm.
point where you should actually start your calculations after you promote the queen.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to look for three things actually. The first thing is, are we promoting with a check? That's the first thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because let's just assume hypothetically, if black's king was, let's say, on h2, yeah, in this position,
Mm-hmm.
then you queen first with a check. So that means you are actually winning the pawn race because black cannot promote the next move.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so check is the first thing that you need to consider. Second thing which we should consider is some tactical motives. Tactical motives, as in, we divide it into two parts. One is the checkmating part, and the other one is the skewer part. So
Mm-hmm.
skewer part is easier to understand. Yeah. Again, hypothetically, let's just imagine if black king was on d3. So you don't have to worry about black's promotion because after promotion, you can anyway pick up the queen with this check.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the skewer part. The checkmating part is slightly difficult because that will involve your king as well, which should be near your opponent's king. So in this position, it's pretty difficult to arrange. But okay, that's another thing which also happens in some of the end games. We will look. Actually, I do have a couple of positions based on that as well.
Okay.
So these are the two important things which you should remember after queening. And the third thing is if you can trade off queens, because uh, right now it's a queen pawn endgame, but it does get transposed into a king pawn endgame, yeah, by force, you can say.
Right.
So yeah, I mean this also is the next aspect of this position. So here again, you have to pretty much count in the same way, Again, you both are in the base rank. So you start pushing your pawns, and pretty obvious that white will be the guy who will first push a4, right? So technically, white will queen faster. And this is the last point of the pawn race. If you have the corner pawns, they kind of cover each other. Yeah, you can say.
Right.
So if you just promote first, that should be the end of the game. So basically, you can see that it's white who will win. Yeah, he will keep the square under control.
Yes.
And in this situation, if we just, for example, let's say put the pawn on g7 right now with black to play, then black will queen faster. So because black is pushing the pawn g5 first, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But then that will be a draw because after g5, a4, g4, a5, g3, a6, g2, a7, you both queen, but black has no means to capture your queen or it's a check or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is even more clear in the next position that I have given you. So in this position, it's actually much more simpler to understand. So first, let's have a small discussion. Yeah. So this position is white to play and make it a draw. So the question is it possible?
So I'm using the counting method here or no?
You can use the counting method here as well.
Okay. I think white can draw this.
Okay. What exactly should be your move?
So as white, maybe I'll start with king f5.
Okay. And black will play king g2, yeah? What next?
Actually, that move, I take that back. That move doesn't make a lot of sense. I'll instead play king e5.
King e5, okay. So same king
Yeah.
g2.
Hmm. I see the problem.
So actually, these are the three moves, yeah, that we must consider because we have to come closer to the f3 pawn. But the problem
Hmm.
is f5 and e5 are kind of, violating our rules, yeah. So we remember 3 points, right, about the tactical motive. One is the skewer thing, the other is promoting with a check, and both of these things are helping black actually.
Yeah.
So it should be king d5, then it's a draw.
Yeah. But I thought that, yeah, I guess I wasn't really calculating king g2 too much. I was just calculating king takes h2, but yeah, with king g2, we need to avoid those two squares.
Yes, okay. King takes h2 wins for white because of the mind square issues, right?
Right.
So if he comes here, I mean, we just play king f4, king g2, and this is the mind square that we're talking about.
Right.
So now we pick up the pawn. This wins for white, and this will win for white even if you go with e5. He can still, if he takes this, it's pretty much the same position.
Right. Excuse me.
So this, I mean, both of these things actually work for white, and white wins. But the other move, king g2, will favor in black's well, it will actually favor black. So here you can, if you start counting, yeah, you will see that black actually needs like 5 moves to promote. White also needs 5 moves to promote because white will start with h4, yeah, right now.
Hmm.
But the thing is, when black promotes and after it white will promote, so basically it will be black to play, yeah, and he can actually pick up your queen.
Yeah.
The same goes for f5. If you go here, he will again play king g2. And it's the same thing. He will promote with a check.
Right.
and this should be winning for black.
Yes, for sure.
But king b5 solves everything, so he has to play this, and now you both will promote. And okay, he doesn't have any means to capture your queen. Checkmate is off the questions. Yeah, your king is like in a central square. And you pretty much don't have to worry about trading off the queens because there are no other pawns left in the position.
Yeah.
So this is also winning for us.
Gotcha.
Regarding the checkmating thing, so we will actually get there. But I want you to try this one. This is white to play and win.
Okay. I think I understand the idea here. So
Mhm.
I think I'll start with king c5.
King c5, okay. So black has no options. Yeah, he will take on h5.
Yeah. Then I'm gonna play. Let's go b4.
Okay. So black again has no options. He will play king g4.
4.
So h5.
Then I'll play b5.
So he takes a b5.
Then I'll play a5.
Perfect. Okay. So this is what you had to basically figure out, that to stop this pawn now, you actually need to promote this guy, yeah? And your solution is correct. So you have to play king c5, and after king h5, just b4. So both a4 and b4 work, I think. So doesn't pretty much like makes a lot of difference. King g4, a4, h5, and b5. So here the thing is, if black pushes h4 right now, we take on a6.
Right.
And anyway, we control the winning square. And if he captures this, we push a5. So anyway, we queen here. And
Mm-hmm.
again, this is winning for us as well. So both of these things work. Okay, perfect. So I think this pawn race is
Yeah.
not that difficult. Yeah, I mean, especially this counting part.
Since I think, yeah, he was doing it in some very complicated positions where
Mhm.
there were possibilities of king moves and piece moves also.
Yeah,
I don't know how he, like, in a simple position like this where it's just counting pawn to pawn, I think I can do that, but I don't know. I feel like he was doing it in positions where there was king moves involved and all this kind of stuff too. So
huh.
that's what threw me a little bit. But what we just covered, I think I understand the concept.
Okay, perfect. No problem. So actually, this is the position where you have to pretty much figure out king moves as well. So maybe we can try this one also. It's white to play and win.
Okay. So I think I got the solution.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'll start with f4.
Okay. So whenever we reach a like whenever we are in the pawn race situation, yeah, like our general calculation is f4, b5, f5, b4, things like that, right?
Yes, but in this case, I think I also have to calculate what if he plays king b5, right?
Yes,
And tries to
exactly.
forward the pawn.
Yeah, exactly. Because f4, king b5, and it's still within the range, yeah.
Yeah,
So you have to calculate that as well.
I haven't really done that, to be honest with you, actually.
Okay, no problem.
Uh,
Can check right now.
okay, give me a second.
So Rafi, I'm just ending the call and let's rejoin it.
So again?
I'm ending the call, so it will anyway get over. I'm just rejoining the call. Okay.
Okay, okay, sure.